What's going on? It's Justeeni here. Today we're doing some Zabasi gameplay, and we're really gonna see what high-level things happen in games of Polytopia, this time with Zabasi, a tribe that I'm very familiar with. In case you guys didn't know, World Championships, whatever, you can find some playlist somewhere. I might put them in the description, but I might also not if I feel like it. It's a normal lakes, 24 hours. I decide to go full tryhard because it's fun, you know. And so you really get to see lots of subtle details that I'll try to cover the best I can while not dragging the video on for too long like I am with this intro. Let's get right into things. So, kind of normal Zap things. You can see this is a mirror match. And yeah, you're going to see some differences in skill level from that. So I'm doing my good old construction opening because I have tons of farms. Why not? It's just a good opening. Go for the Explorer, instantly meet the opponent. And you can see they got a workshop on their second city. Whereas I got an Explorer here. I'm surprised the opponent didn't go for Explorer here. We're going to see a lot of subtle things add up. Because if you look at how the opponent plays, they don't make very obvious mistakes. They go for Riding, so a different opening than me. Construction is better, but Riding is a fine choice too. I get my upgrade from getting the Lighthouse. And I'm already en route to get some pretty quick Giants. I do a nice sequence here. Warrior is in the back, where it cannot be killed. If I killed with the warriors in like different spots, I could do it here as well, and the warrior would be safe. But I prefer the warrior all the way back here, where it's still safe and can access this other area of the map, the east, more easily. They're trying to go for the east as well. I just walk on the city. Reason why I don't walk here, because walking down the city looks weird. Don't I want to train a warrior? If I go there, you can see they can attack my warrior. I don't want that to happen. So I just put it on the city. I don't need another warrior. Like, I have enough warriors. Got a warrior up here from the capital. I get a workshop. Just going nice and greedy, developing my economy. I can hit them on the village. Go for some more upgrades. And just like that, turn 7 giant, right on the money, 0 stars to spare. I did plan this. Well, actually, I guess I had 2 stars to spare, right? I trained a warrior. Yeah, so 2 stars to spare, enough for the warrior and that. Planned, of course, from last turn. And big question here, where do you put the Park of Fortune? This is a very important thing. With high-level gameplay, monument placement matters a ton. There's one placement that sticks out as really obvious. Just put it in the capital, right? Nice, 3 population here. Windmills, 3 more. Boom. If you want it close to the water, you can do windmill. And then 3 pop. Boom. But there's one spot that really stands out here. And I'm sure some of you in the comments are like, ooh, I know. I know funny reference? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's in the front, of course. Because having a second giant in the front is better than in the back. Now they're about to get sieged. How does the opponent defend? It's really concerning. And I'm putting pressure with just warriors alone. They go for the ruin, trying to snag that. And I siege, go for roads, and I road here. So there's going to be a few things to break down this turn. So first off, I road here. Why do I road here? Well, because I don't want them to pop the giant. I'm stepping on the farm. I know that if they just use a single monument, you know, the Park of Fortune they have in hand right now, plus road connection plus farm, that's an easy giant. They still can unsiege, but they need Grand Bazaar to do that, which is quite painful for them to do, just by stepping on this farm. I didn't need to get roads to do this. I could have just not. That's all that roads does, but this is still very annoying for them. Second thing, why do I move off the village? Because I want the ruin. They can't stop me from taking this village later. And also, they can't stop me from taking the ruin right now. But only if I move off the village, of course. I can't afford to, like, use 2 roads to get this, sadly. Because I need the road here. I think this is more important. It's worth delaying the village for. And so I do it like this. I actually do misplay here. I should have hit with the front warrior. Oh, wait, no. Never mind. I don't misplay. I calculated all of this. Silly me, Justeeni in the past knows what he's doing. Get the veteran warrior on the ruin, so then I don't have any units dying. That matters in the early game for like gate of power and stuff, so you know, it's useful. They also misplaced their monument. This should be where their markets go in the long term, so that's worth writing in your notes or whatever. Those do add up, trust me. Now, vet sword from the ruin, this is huge. How are they getting a giant here? They need like construction at least. And we know they went with the writing opening. They don't have construction, so yeah, and there's this city here. They move some units in the east as well, so it might be contested, but the sword is just amazing here. I go for Org, because this happens to work out with getting my giants, just one road connection plus the fruit. There's some giant interactions here. Basically, I decide to keep this giant at a higher HP, because you can see with these interactions, 13 versus 14, so that's why I hit in the order that I do, and I hit both on this giant just to get as much damage as possible, chunk as much HP out of their giants, well as little from mine. That's the best way to go about when the giants are next to each other. And they decide to sack their giant and put theirs in. This is a mistake, actually. At least I'm pretty sure. I was assuming they would just move the giant back and move this up, keep their giant alive, but instead, they sacrifice the giant. And then they make some riders. Because the thing is, I never had a siege here, even if they didn't sack the giant, so that's why I don't agree with it. But they still have this problem. They just lost a giant, and even though my giants aren't as healthy, I still have 2 giants to their 1, and it's going to be a problem. I get a nice siege. They have to deal with this. I go for these hits. They have to deal with this, though. And again, I'm just kind of like trading units here. This was really annoying for these giants to defend. If they just take everything off the map, that's fine by me. Because while they've been scurrying around trying to hold on defense, I've been setting up my market spots and potential more giants. I have Org. I'm 1 tech away from trade. I'm getting another giant. And I'm getting another giant. Windmill here, level 2, not level 3 because of this juicy level 8 market spot. Don't want to pass that up. And I still get the same amount of giants either way. So they take out that giant finally, weaken this one. They've sacrificed a lot in the process. They go for the siege as well. Very cool. I just rode my warrior on. I'm going to take the city from them. Development is phenomenal. I take this city from them. Connect it. And I'm very close to Grand Bazaar, pressuring this. They have a lot of problems to deal with. I capture the city. I was kind of debating, do I want to capture it? Because the justification between like capturing it or not is, the reason to capture it is extra tempo. If I wait a turn here, that's less time exploring and capturing the very likely villages over here. If the opponent gets to them first, that's very sad. The argument for not capturing is save for trade. If I capture, trade is now more expensive. You silly goober, why didn't you capture later? But I think capturing earlier is more justified. I'm not in a hurry to get trade because the opponent doesn't even have construction. I am winning that trade battle whether or not I capture. So let's capture. I kill their giant, and yeah, the giants are just about to get traded off, but it's very costly for them. They still have to kill this 19 HP, and I have 2 more giants ready. Except we can make that 3, thanks to Grand Bazaar. So I'm still up in giants. They still have a lot of problems to worry about. But they do finally get construction and get some giants, so they are going to be able to hold on. But again, this is the difference in skill levels. I am prepared for the long term. They are just holding on. The whole time they've been just holding on. And unfortunately, things will inevitably crash down for them. There's going to be some more spicy things in this video, so don't leave yet. Should always watch my videos to the end, because it's like good for my YouTube metrics or whatnot. Explorer gets a lot of vision, and I get a rider here, some nice tempo. Get some units. Gate of power goes here. Maybe you can see why. It's just, I get a giant. And this giant's really important because I want to pressure the city. If I don't pressure their city, they will pressure either this city or potentially even this city. Which this one I can defend more easily, so I suspect this city. I need a giant here no matter what, and I'd rather get it ASAP, so then I can potentially kind of get the first hit on them. because that's pretty important in Polytopia. Attacking before the opponent, being forced in that defensive position is not ideal. And yeah, they send their giant close, they just let me kill it. And now I'm sending my sword here, getting the giant. And very important, I put the warrior here because it's blocking resources. So now their giant is potentially more expensive if you actually look here. They have, I believe, 1 extra population. That's why it's a weird amount of points, not exactly 200, 205. They wanted to use this and then burn another forest. But if they just burn these 2 forests, that's not enough. So they have to kill this warrior if they want a giant. I also grab the lighthouse here. Very close to Eye of God. Usually with normal lakes, you don't have to think about it for a while, but now I do have to think about it. They don't kill my warrior, they go for a defender. And yeah, they're just kind of hanging on. They're trying to pressure here. This is a good try by the opponent. But now you can see again, very conscientious. I am blocking every single forest because I don't want them to burn any of them. So unless they kill my warriors and like at least one of these units and they have a monument, they're just done for there. They lose that. I also have trade. Where's the opponent's trade? Right, they blocked that market spot earlier. Told you that was important. So at this point, I just have what the cool kids would call an insurmountable advantage. And it wasn't one event that caused this game to be from like an even game to winning. It was the culmination of many events. And that's how higher level Polytopia games go, at least with this like skill diff. It's rarely one moment. If the opponent's good enough at the game, they're not going to blunder something super obvious and instantly lose the game. It's going to be a lot of subtle things over time. Now the opponent pulls off the unsiege, but you can see how painful it is. Look at that. Gate of Power, mining. Ouch. They are definitely not getting trade. Because, yeah, they got climbing because they needed it anyway. But mining is not going to get much value for them, so that really hurts. They go for the siege also. And the siege doesn't work. I just unsiege. I get a star ruin, which isn't too useful here. At this point, I'm not concerned about like perfect micro, but you still see I care a little bit. And I just kind of sacrifice most of my units. But again, I'm still conscientious about blocking. I know they physically cannot make the push at all as long as I block 2 forests. And yeah, more markets. Hooray. This is just complete dominance. And again, the opponent played pretty well, like I have to give it to them, but it's those little things. Those little things. They add up, they matter, and they are the difference between winning and losing. They get a nice Vet Rider siege. Very well played there. Most of my giants were kind of in reserve because I want to heal them. Healing 4 HP a turn is pretty nice. Eventually, that does matter, but they get a nice siege. I go for this Explorer. Please give me Eye of God. Except no, I kind of get a little bit trolled. I go for the second one. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. I'm fine with gambling because the risk reward is kind of there. Like, oh no, I lost 1 star per turn. And I take their village. And this one. I'm up in cities. I'm up in economy. I have more giants. I have every advantage you could want. I have attack advantage too. So the opponent sees the writing on the walls and resigns. Again, well played to the opponent. But it turns out if you play against one of the best Sabasi players in air quotes, then it's gonna be pretty rough. Something like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed looking at these like technical details. This was a very fun game to play. Yeah, like and subscribe, and have a good one.